Good morning. Good morning and happy Friday to everybody. Welcome, Amazon sellers, e-commerce entrepreneurs, resellers, flippers, arbitrageurs of all stripes. Welcome to the very first Coffee with Chris of 2021. I hope that you all had a happy new year and incredible holidays. I hope that you all absolutely crushed the tail end of Q4. And I hope that continues into this year. So welcome everybody to the inaugural Coffee with Chris of 2021. Good morning, Adrian, Nash, Maria. Glad to have you all here. If you would all do a favor as you come in, make room for those in the back, and do me a favor and absolutely smash the like button, whether you're on Facebook or YouTube or wherever you might be for the algorithm. Make sure that this video gets out in front of a few other folks, and we'll dive into the news and opinion, all for Amazon and e-commerce sellers this week. But first, coffee. All right. Good morning, Beverly, Crystal. Got a couple of Facebook users in there. Valerie, good to see you all here for this week's show, and I appreciate you guys taking the time to come in. I've got the news of the week. The very first thing that I thought was interesting is Amazon Pantry is shutting down. Now, you're still going to be able to order all of the products that Amazon Prime Pantry has always had available. However, you're not going to need to all fit it into one box anymore. And this has come on the heels of Amazon purchasing Whole Foods. It's come on the heels of Prime Now and all the other changes that have happened since Amazon came out with Prime Pantry. So it's not really a surprise. And the good thing is you don't have to pay that $5 or $5.99 fee to have pantry items delivered. And of course, it's not going to make any changes to the availability of any products either. But we no longer have to worry about finding things that are excellent to sell in the pantry category, and none of us can sell it. Maria, you have a great question. I'm actually going to be getting to that here very shortly. Matter of fact, we'll get to it now. Maria asks, do you think Jeff's fall from the top of the billionaire list will cause 3P sellers to pay the price? And that's a good question. In the battle of the bulging wallets yesterday, Elon Musk overtook fellow Centi billionaire Jeff Bezos for a short period of time as the richest person in the world. Elon Musk hit, I want to say, 185 billion yesterday in net worth. Now, it's fallen a little bit since, and if you look at the Forbes Real-Time Billionaires website, which actually shows the real-time net worth as close as they can figure it, and whether these numbers are anywhere near accurate, we don't know. But we can see that Jeff, as of the end of trading yesterday, was worth about 184.6 billion. Elon Musk dipped down to 177.2 billion. But the thing that I found so interesting about this happening yesterday is not the fact that, oh, well, Jeff is no longer king of the mountain, but the fact that Elon Musk started 2020 worth about $27 billion and was barely in the top 50 richest people. But Tesla stock has absolutely mooned this year. And yesterday he was worth $185 billion for a very short time. And there are some who think that Tesla has a lot of room to go in their stock price over the next couple of years. So we'll see who gets to $200 billion first, whether it's Elon or Jeff Bezos. And it will be interesting to see. Now, do I think that third-party sellers will pay the price of Jeff no longer being the king of the mountain? I wish that I knew how these centi billionaires thought. Are they absolutely worried every single second that they're no longer the richest person in the world. Since most of that is tied up in stock prices, I would like to think that that is not making an impact on the decisions that they make for the businesses that they spearhead. And of course, there's boards of directors and things like that that they also have to answer to, and all the other people that get to weigh in on topics before decisions are made that can impact people like us. So I want to say no, Maria. My first thought is no, that's not going to happen. But I also know that I would imagine you have to be a little bit of a megalomaniac to be able to run the size and scope of a business like Amazon, like Tesla. You got to be, so maybe it does play a small factor, even if they don't want to admit it. So let's see what's next. Amazon and Prime members, non-Prime members, everyone else can now purchase the very first at-home saliva test kits for COVID testing. The very first saliva test kit to receive emergency use authorization was built with a partnership between Amazon and a company called Dexterity out of Los Angeles. These are available in single packs on Amazon. Matter of fact, if you go to Amazon and just type in the word COVID test, the very first thing that pops up is the Dexterity testing kit. It's $110 for a single unit. You can get 10 for $1,000. Get a nice little 10% discount off of it. And all you have to do is spit in a tube and send it off to a lab, and they will do a COVID test for you without you having to go anywhere. They also say that it will pick up asymptomatic as well as symptomatic COVID. So if you feel like you want to do that, you can grab those at Amazon, and they will be delivered to you Prime. One of the other things that happened this year, speaking of Jeff Bezos' net worth, Jeff Bezos topped the list of most charitable people. Now, you might recall that his ex-wife, Mackenzie Scott, made nearly $6 billion in cumulative charitable donations during the year, and he was not to be outdone. So this year, he gave $10 billion to a charitable trust known as the Bezos Earth Fund. It's designed to fight climate change, and that the Earth Fund will dole out money to other organizations. They have given out $791 million to 16 different organizations so far. But that was a $10 billion charitable donation that made him the top of the charitable donation list in 2020. And one of the other things that he did is he actually named the very first Blue Origin landing ship. Blue Origin, if you're not familiar, is the space arm that Bezos funds. And they have a landing ship for their rockets, just like SpaceX does for their rockets. And he named it after his mom. Named it Jacqueline, I believe is her name. Let's see what else is going on. Oh, a little bit of good news, in my opinion. Amazon has decided to ease the new seller delivery requirements that were coming out. You might recall, I've talked about this a little bit before, is that starting February the 1st, seller fulfilled Prime participants were going to have to ship on Saturdays. They're going to increase the rate at which shipping needed to be perfect, and that is being pulled back just a little bit. So in a note sent to sellers on Tuesday, Amazon said it was temporarily relaxing the delivery speed for seller-fulfilled Prime members in response to pandemic-generated constraints on the logistics industry. This means that Amazon will give SFP members a pass if they can't ensure 1 and 2 portion of shoppers. An Amazon spokesperson confirmed this, and the changes were announced to sellers on Tuesday. So if you are enrolled in Seller Fulfilled Prime, you should have gotten an email. You may want to make sure that you look for that. Let's see what else. We got a couple more things. There's not a lot going on. It's the beginning of the year, so this will end up being a short day today. One thing I do want to remind everybody is that on Monday, I'm actually going to be speaking at the e-commerce Power Summit. There's a link right above or below this video, depending on where you're watching it, if you want to get registered for it. I'll be speaking at 11 a.m. about online arbitrage, and I think I've come up with a pretty good topic to go over. I won't ruin it for everybody who wants to show up, but make sure to register for the e-commerce Power Summit. Should be a fun time, and there's a ton of other really great speakers. I know that Stephen Smotherman is going to be there, and I saw the lineup last night. It's going to be pretty powerful. All right. Amazon made a nice hefty purchase to make sure that they could take this off on their taxes in the 2020 year. They actually purchased for the very first time jets of their own. Amazon said on Tuesday that it picked up 11 jets from Delta and WestJet Airlines to boost its growing delivery network and get orders to shoppers faster. This is the first time it's purchased planes for its delivery network. Over the last several years, Amazon has really only leased planes for its fleet. And in a blog post, Amazon said that having a mix of both leased and owned aircraft in our growing fleet allows us to better manage our operations, according to Sarah Rhodes, who's the VP of Amazon Global Air. Interesting to see Amazon actually buying their own planes, and I'm curious if that will continue or if they will kind of do a mix of both, or maybe they're just trying to burn some extra cash to make sure that Uncle Sam doesn't come for them too hard this year. And the last thing I've got, and then I'll answer some questions because I do see a couple here in the chat. The last thing I've got is that Amazon has topped 75,000 employees in the Seattle area. They have now surpassed Boeing in the state of Washington to become the largest employer in the state. The number includes workers at the company's headquarters around downtown Seattle, 3 fulfillment centers, an airport hub, an R&D facility for its satellite initiative project Kipper, and more than 15 physical retail stores are in that 75,000 person number. Amazon employs another 5,000 people in Washington beyond the Seattle region. And they also have 7,300 job openings in Seattle. So they've still got more people to hire in the Seattle area, which is absolutely insane to me, the amount of people that they need. But they're now the biggest employer in the state of Washington. Ahmed emailed you regarding the 08 challenge. Sure, I will check that email, no problem. Benny, what's going on? Justin, what is going down? Michael says, I think Tesla is overpriced. Wonder if many are just buying the hype. I don't know. I wish that I was. I wish that I knew better. I do believe in Elon Musk. I think that he's one of those people who are so smart that he comes off as insane. And I think that he'll, do some crazy cool things. But I'm just not sure. I don't know if it's overpriced or not. Let's see here. Doug, can you give any suggestions on keeping track of inventory and sales? What Seller Central reports do you look at? How often? Any services you recommend? What I would suggest is you should probably have something like ScanPower or Inventory Lab to help you make sure that you are keeping track of your sales and things. I honestly am not. I'm not a great person about business reports. I look at number of sales. I look at the thing, or I look at the inbound shipment reports. But that's about it. I'm trying to look at kind of the whole business more than being too granular. I think if we get too granular, we end up not doing our job as well. And any services I would recommend, I need to know what services you're looking for, but I've got a whole list of them I can recommend, absolutely. Hey, Chris, do you have any videos for Tactical Bucket and the Keepa API? Tactical Bucket, absolutely. I've got several videos on my YouTube channel about Tactical Bucket and how to use it. As for the Keepa API, that is information I only share with my VIP and the OA Challenge folks. It's not something I typically put out YouTube videos about. Kyle, I'm just getting started with Amazon and I'm trying to get through seller verification. Do you have any advice? Honestly, the only advice that is good advice here is give Amazon exactly what they're looking for. Now, I don't know if they're doing video verification right now, if they're just asking for credit cards and utility bills, but whatever they're asking for, give it to them, and give it to them in a format that is as easy for them to see, to use as possible, to try to make the process go quickly. But the other thing, and I would suggest this now as well as in the future, is have patience. Dealing with Amazon, you're dealing with a behemoth of a company, and you just need to have patience and some grit and determination, and make sure that you just keep plugging away. So if they decline, make sure to come back with either more or better information and show it to them, and you'll end up getting through. What was the name of the site that stores all of the store flyers? You may mean SalesGazer, salesgazer.com. That is a place where you can go and get all of the sales emails every single day. It looks like an email inbox, acts just like an email inbox, and you can subscribe to certain stores and things like that. But that is salesgazer.com. What is the OA Challenge? The OA Challenge is a 14-day course that we put on. It'll be live again either in the end of January or early February, where we actually spend 14 days live and in person discussing online arbitrage. And I'm an open book. I teach everything I know about online arbitrage. We've also got the replays, which you can check out at oachallenge.com. We've got replays available if you don't want to wait for a live, where we drip feed it out over 14 days, as we found that people tend to watch the videos one at a time rather than taking them all in at once. In tactical arbitrage, is there a way to reverse search a retail store with a website that is not currently on, not listed in tactical arbitrage? So the answer to this question is yes. What needs to happen is you need to build out an XPath for this particular store, okay, if that can be done. Now, I would suggest a place like Tactical Bucket to be able to do this for you. You can go other places, but Tactical Bucket is going to be the easiest bet. And once an XPath is built, it is included in reverse searches. I've been looking for ways to generate various income streams. Could you point me in the right direction of either a YouTuber or website? Well, that's a pretty generic question. I don't know what kind of income streams you're looking for. You happen to be on a YouTube channel about one income stream. But Sasha, if you want to email me at chris@cleartheshelf.com and get a little bit more granular on that question, I'm sure that I can point you in the right direction on your path to multiple income streams. Is it possible to get approved to sell hazmat? I understand there's a waiting list. I'm pretty sure that is what still happens. I know that when I asked to be approved to sell hazmat, it took a couple of days. But I don't know if I don't know the process anymore, but I could check on that. If you want to shoot me an email and just remind me, as I'll forget pretty quickly after this live is over, feel free to shoot me a message, and I'll double check on what the process is nowadays. What if an XPath cannot be built? Well, if an XPath cannot be built for tactical arbitrage, then there is something called Tactical Expander, and perhaps it is there. Or you're just going to have to manually source that site. Now, here's one of the upsides. If there is absolutely no way that an XPath can be built, I can guarantee you that other people may have already had the idea and have not been able to do it, and you may have a leg up by actually manually sourcing the site. Now, is it the most fun? No. But can it be profitable? Absolutely. So, this is another one of those things that if there's a will, there's a way, and sometimes manual sourcing is that way. What does it mean when Amazon sends a replacement order for free? So that means that a customer is getting the item replaced for one reason or another. Maybe theirs showed up broken. Maybe it never got delivered. It could be all kinds of reasons. And now Amazon is taking one out of your inventory and replacing it for free. If Amazon does that, typically you should be reimbursed minus any Amazon fees. And I believe that can take up to like 45 days. So you'll want to keep an eye on that and make sure that you get reimbursed for it, or open up a case with seller support. I was on a lead list and I had some obscure websites that XPath could not be completed. If that's not surprising, if you're on a lead list, especially one that does manual sourcing, that's going to happen. And sometimes just sourcing brute force, using Google, using context menu searches and things like that can be incredibly powerful. Christine says, regarding hazmat, there's a video and quizzes that need to be taken and then await approval. So that's perfect. Should be fairly easy and straightforward. All right, guys, before we head off for the day, please remember, head over to the link above or below this video, register for the e-commerce power summit. Not only will I be speaking on Monday, but there are going to be a lot of other people who are a heck of a lot smarter and maybe even better looking than me, who are going to be talking about their respective niches in the Amazon business. And so I think it's going to be really, really great, and I would suggest that you take some time to get registered for that. I would also ask that you make sure to smash the like button on this video for the YouTube and Facebook algorithms, and I would really appreciate that. I will see you guys next Friday for another Coffee with Chris, and we will talk about the news and opinion of selling on Amazon and e-commerce. Until then, guys, stay safe, wash your hands, and good selling. Have a great weekend, everybody.